It just sounds like a...
But it sounds like there's like an echo. I don't know.
It's like a very... For me, it's very slight.
If y'all listen to this with headphones in, I'm about to fucking...
just be like, warning!
Welcome back to Wandering, guys. I have Rick here with me today. I'm super excited. So we're just going to jump right into your name.
Okay.
Because I call Rick Erica, and her dun, 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 and her family calls her that. So kind of just go over how Rick started from Erica.
So Rick started in college. When I was in university, I went to a pretty hoity-toity school, pretty posh school, and I didn't relate to anybody.
Where'd you go again?
I went to Princeton.
Princeton. Y'all, she's smart.
And I was just, I just didn't feel like, I just didn't relate. I wanted, all the time. Princeton has a little train. It's called the Dinky. And it's one car of a train. And it's like a shuttle that goes to the main station that'll take you into either Philly or New York City. And my siblings live in New York City. So all throughout college, I would just, do what I needed to do for school and then hop on a train and go to New York and hang out with my sisters. And I just didn't connect with the school or the culture very much. And my sister's name is Di, which is so rad and so cool. And
how do you spell it?
D-Y. Her full name is Daishan. But she goes by Di, and it's edgy and it's cool, and she's edgy and cool.
Yeah.
And I was just like a little twerp, Erica, and I was like, I need a cooler name. And so simultaneously with all that, one of my psychology classes challenged us to expose implicit bias at the university.
Cool.
And so I was thinking about what kind of project would I want to do. And I put myself through that school. I had so many jobs while I worked or while I was in school. And in order to get campus jobs, you have to apply. And it's like part of the experience of, building yourself up, getting ready for the workforce. So I would apply for all those jobs. And I decided my experiment would be to apply for the same campus jobs as Erica Rodriguez and as Rick Rodriguez and see who got more job offers. And no surprise, Rick Rodriguez got way more job offers despite having the same resume other than our name. And so at that point, I'd told my sister about this, and I was like, isn't this crazy? And she was like, it is crazy, and you should go by Rick. Rick is cool. And I was like, okay.
How did you come up with that idea? I
don't know. I think it was just on my mind. I feel like I was more attuned at the time. I was hyper intellectual at the time, just being in school. And I was studying psychology, and we were learning about implicit bias. And, part of that class was all about, what is implicit bias and what kinds of biases exist, and just talking about our experiences. And obviously all of the top hitters came up, like sexism and classism and racism and all of the isms. And so I just picked one that felt salient to me, and I played around with that. And I honestly didn't expect there to be much of a result. I kind of expected to be like, actually, it was pretty good, guys. And it was equal. Or even for them to come back and be like, did you double submit? Because it's the same resume.
Yeah.
But that's not what happened. It was like,
it was a big difference?
It was a big difference.
Holy shit.
I was like, ooh.
Wait, and did you turn that experiment in?
Yeah.
Didn't you have to do it for a class?
I turned it in, and they were like, oh, horrible. And that was the end of it.
And then you're like, now I'm fucking Rick.
And now I'm Rick.
Cool.
So I've been Rick since 2015.
So your sister was like, you should just keep it, and then you just started introducing yourself as Rick?
Yep, because that was a time in our lives where we were hitting the club all the time. And so we were Di and Rick, and it was a really cool duo.
Oh my gosh. Wait, in New York?
Yeah, we're the same size, height-wise, and we have the same build, short but strong. And but she's covered in tattoos.
Cool.
And I don't have any tattoos. So we're this little duo, and she's always eyeliner and piercings.
Yeah.
So we were Di and
Rick and Di. Yeah, Di and Rick. That's fun. So cute.
Yeah. So it stuck. And it's always stuck since then.
Yeah. So y'all can't call her Erica, okay? Her name is Rick.
Yeah.
Rick Rodriguez.
That's right.
Okay, so Rick, where are you from? Where were you born?
I was born in Virginia.
Okay.
Northern Virginia. Small area called Woodbridge, affectionately called Hoodbridge.
Oh.
It's not the hood. It's a beautiful little suburban area.
Oh my gosh. Why does it have that name then?
I feel like growing up, everyone was like, we live in the hood. It's like, yo, we do not live in the hood. This
Oh my
is a really
God.
nice suburban neighborhood.
Why do you think they thought that?
I don't know. I feel like everybody wants to
Have a story.
have a hard coming up.
Yeah.
I don't know. Even as kids, you know, they're like, it's tough, you know. We got MS-13 here. Okay.
Life's hard. So you were born in Virginia.
Mm-hmm. Born in Virginia. My mom and dad grew up in New York City. So New York City also has like a home feeling for me. And then we are Puerto Rican. Both of my parents are Puerto Rican. So Puerto Rico is also a home space for me. Grew up going there a lot. And I feel really connected to the island. Thank God my mom maintained our connection to that.
Yeah.
So I still have that, you know, like huge part of my identity.
Still have family there?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, you do.
I do. I have my
You still
family
visit?
there, and we go visit. I'm going to be there in a couple weeks. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Going back to Puerto Rico for me is like taking medicine.
Oh.
It's like, not only is it medicine for me, but I feel like it's the best gift that I can offer people in my life is bringing them with me to Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, it's the best place
Me.
on earth.
I've never been. I want to go.
Literally the best place on earth.
Oh my gosh.
It's better than anywhere.
Do you
And I've been
speak
to a lot of
Spanish?
places. Mhm.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
So your mama still taught you?
No.
Oh.
I had to learn in school.
Oh, okay.
Spanish was like a secret language between my parents while they were divorcing.
Oh, shit. Nice. Nice.
And me and my sister did not learn Spanish in the home. I learned it in school. My sister didn't. So,
Okay. Well, that's cool.
Mhm.
I would want to learn it.
Yeah.
I can barely speak English. Double negatives, broken English. You already know. So you were born in Virginia, but did you leave Virginia when you went to university at Princeton in New York?
I actually left home for the first time while I was still in high school. When I was a sophomore in high school, I won a scholarship through the State Department to study in China for the summer.
Okay.
So my first time traveling to China, I was 15. And I stayed with a family in Shanghai the first time. And it was like a 3-month-long program, an immersion program. And that was awesome. And then the summer in between high school and college, I went again for the same program. And that time I stayed in a small city the size of New York in China called Zhengzhou. And that was such a trip. It was so different. Like Shanghai was totally different and it's amazing. Shanghai's amazing. It's a very modern city.
Mm-hmm.
So even though it's very different, you can recognize how modern it is even though it's different. But Zhengzhou is like, or I don't know how it is now, but at the time I was like, it felt like time traveling.
Wow.
It felt like time traveling and planet hopping at the same time. And I was
Yeah.
like, this is such a trip. It was so cool.
But then how long did you live in China? Tell me how that started.
So after high school, went to university, 4 years in university, and I did Chinese classes when I was at school, and I participated in like Chinese language competitions.
What made you want to do that?
I love Chinese.
But how? Why?
Well, I really wanted to be a spy.
Oh, yeah. She might still be.
My like joke as a kid, and it like I'd stretched this joke for years. I said it so many times to so many people, but my joke was like, if we meet again when I'm an adult and I tell you I'm a secretary, I'm actually a spy. But yeah, I just really wanted to be a spy. And then when I did that State Department program, they fed into it so much because the orientation for the program, they were like over the top with like, you are an American in a hostile environment and like it's gonna be scary out there. And like
Who was giving you that idea?
like State Department officials
Okay.
that were talking to us children, you know, like 15-year-old kids, like, you are now in the pipeline. You are now affiliated with the U.S. government. And I'm like, holy shit, this is my in. I'm halfway there, baby.
Oh my gosh.
But then I got there and like everything changed and I was like, oh, all that is just dumb. Like, this is so cool. It's just cool to connect. And I feel like I went there with like no expectations at all about what China was going to be like. And And I'm glad that I went with no preconceived notions because it filled in the blanks, you know.
Cool.
And then, you know, I studied the language in school, and then visited a couple times after winning a couple of like a lot of those language contests. The prize is a trip to China. So throughout college, I would like take trips if I won those competitions. And then after school, I graduated and I moved in with my sister Di, and I worked for her in her gym in New York. It was such a cool spot. It's like super cool, holistic wellness center. And I worked with her there for, I want to say like 8 or 9 months. And then I started to get this like bug where I needed to go and have adventures. And I was like, I need to go explore.
I feel that.
I ended up applying for a grant program through my alma mater. And it's kind of like Fulbright-esque, where they pair you with a work experience, and then you write like essays and contribute essays towards like the community. And then they publish those essays and they disseminate it to like schools, and then it encourages people to apply. So it's just like a experience for young adults that are post-grad.
Yeah.
So I applied for that and I got it, and I got paired with this company in Asia that was doing amazing things, and they still exist and they're still doing really cool things, but it's a field called experiential education. And it's all about, it kind of lives at the intersection of outdoor exploration and soft skill building. So it's like conflict resolution while you hike a mountain, or a team building while you learn how to snorkel, or something like some cool pairing like that. And so through that work, I got to explore the nation of China, and even better, the whole continent of Asia. And I got to travel a ton, and I lived out there for a little over 5 years.
5 years. Holy shit.
It was awesome.
So yeah, it was with that, you were with that program the whole time?
Mm-hmm. I was with that company the whole time until the very end. And it was a horrible ending. Oh my God, I've had so many horrible endings to like really cool work experiences that shouldn't have ended that way, but it ended bad. And then I was actually starting a business out there where I was going to start to consult with other smaller companies on how to like build up their programming. And at the time I was really focused on the soft skill side of the experiential education.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really into how to like use these new challenging experiences to unlock something inside. So I was like taking a lot of classes on like mindfulness education and trauma-informed care and that sort of thing, to like be able to create safe spaces for people, strangers out there in the wilderness. And I was starting to train companies on that. And then COVID happened.
Oh, COVID.
COVID happened. That was on the last flight out of Beijing before they closed China.
Because you had to get out of there.
I left so much stuff behind. I abandoned my apartment.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Did you just not want to stay because you didn't know how it was going to be, or?
Yeah, I got a call from my mom.
Just nervous?
I was in Thailand on a trip for work, and I got a call from my mom, and she was like, I think you really need to come home.
I was in Bangkok. Wait,
really?
Where were you at?
I was in Phuket.
I was in Bangkok, Thailand.
That's crazy.
That's so funny.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, I got back into Oz right before.
Okay.
So your mom was like...
Yeah, she was like, I really think you need to get out of there. And I was like, I don't know, Mom. There's been like 10 outbreaks since I've lived here. And she was like, this is different. I really think you need to get out of there.
Yeah, we didn't know what the hell was happening. Isn't that crazy to think about that?
But what drove it home for me is like...
Zone.
I know. It was such a crazy time. But I went to the airport to pick up a friend who was coming into Phuket. And the flight right before him that landed was a flight from Wuhan and like coming to Phuket, and everyone getting off that plane looked ill. And I was just like, okay, maybe I need to listen to my mom.
I gotta go. Oh my gosh.
So I like putzed around in Phuket for another like 2 days. And then I was like, I actually think I need to go. And so flew back to Beijing, grabbed as much stuff as I could fit into 2 large suitcases and 2 duffel bags across my body and a backpack, and just like bought a ticket. And there was like a few obstacles in the way, but I ended up on the flight. And
you went back to New York?
I think I might have landed in New York and then back to Virginia for maybe a minute. And then I had actually gotten a job in Hilo, Hawaii.
Oh.
So I went from China to Hilo, and I was in Hilo for a month, and then Hawaii decided to close and everything shut down. And
I was like, God damn. I know that literally put a hold on people's lives and adventure and travels for, it felt like almost 2 years.
yeah,
Because it was like a year, but then everyone was still fucking weird and didn't want to do stuff. And do you think you still would be in Southeast Asia if that didn't happen?
I don't know. Maybe. But it's hard to say because like that shook up everyone's path so much. And like my path diverted to such a different place. And I ended up in Hilo for a second. And then when Hawaii closed its borders, I think you have to be in a state for 6 months to like be able to claim unemployment. And
I'm not
whatever
sure.
the amount of time is, I hadn't
sure.
been there long enough to be able to claim unemployment.
And you're like, I need money.
Yeah. So I was like, well, shit, I have to leave. And I ended up finding essential work in Oregon. And I was in Oregon for the quarantine years. And that was so crazy. I worked this absolutely crazy job in a kind of tangential field called
Yeah,
wilderness
we'll go
therapy.
back to China, but let's talk about your job in Oregon.
It was crazy.
Do they still exist?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they still exist. The field for sure exists. I haven't kept track of that company because
Kick rocks.
But it was kind of like an epic experience in a shitty way, but it was still epic, informative. But it's a field called wilderness therapy, and they just kidnap children that aren't they just kidnap children that aren't behaving well according to their parents. Not to diminish it, because like in a lot of cases they do really actually have real issues.
Yeah, I'm sure they, in their mind, they're like, this will help, and they need it, but there has to be a better alternative than kidnapping someone in their home.
Yeah, exactly. And they usually like collect them in the dead of night, and these poor kids.
Were you ever there for that?
No. Like I was on the other side of that. There's like, it happens in stages where it's like the goons, they're actually called goons. The goons go and collect these kids from their homes and then bring them to the site. And then they get processed in at the office building, and then they get taken out to wilderness. And the wilderness is usually like the company that I worked for, the standard was, I think 40 or 60 miles away from any civilization. So they used BLM land, and it was just the middle of nowhere in the high desert in Oregon. And they would always take like different routes in and different routes out so that the kids couldn't memorize like a mental map of where they were.
Do you think it was kind of illegal?
I think that it got really shady because they weren't being fully transparent with parents of what the experience was really going to be. Like on the website, the videos and the pictures are like beautiful and picturesque, and the kids are like, this is
having
hard,
fun,
but we're growing, and it's like they package it like, it's $60,000 for 3 months. And so they package it like, these kids will be cooking all organic meals, and there's like daily meal drops, and they go and like, and it's true, there are daily meal drops or weekly meal drops where they drop off a giant sack full of food, and then everyone has to divvy it up into their packs, and that's your food for the week. But it's not organic, and it's not good. It's really shitty, actually. And
what was your role exactly?
I was a guide. So usually there was 2 or 3 guides to a group, and the groups could vary from usually like somewhere around 8 people, but sometimes much less than that, sometimes 1, sometimes 2. Usually no more than like around 8-ish people. And I mostly worked in the young adult groups, which were 18 to 25-year-olds that were really struggling. And they called them failure to launch.
Damn. Fuck.
And I was 25. So I was just their peer.
Oh my gosh. Like, would you guide them on hikes or like?
It was like keeping the peace, or sometimes not. It was basically like managing the social environment of the group. And they would dysregulate very easily. So it was a lot of like suicidal, homicidal, self-harm, like just deeply angry or overcoming addiction, like cannot control or regulate, their emotions kind of thing. So
You got everybody tweaking out up there, wanting to jump off the side of the fucking mountain. That does not sound safe, just saying.
Exactly. And it's a contagious thing, as humans, we like catch on to what the energy is. And so when one person would dysregulate in the group, it would usually cause like a cascading effect.
Like a domino effect.
A lot of people would start to tweak like all at once.
Holy shit.
I remember there was one night where me and my co-guides were sitting around the fire and we were like quietly chit-chatting because all of the tents were around us, and we knew like we came into that group, and when we did like the passing off with the guides that were in there, because you stay out there in the woods with them for 8 days straight. And so when you get relieved, the next group of guides comes in, and all of the people in your group, all of the like affected youth, you have to place them sitting towards a tree and away from each other so that they can't talk. And then they're like placed all around you. And then you quietly download with the group that you're relieving, the guide group. And they tell you like all the dynamics and who hates who this week and who blew up and who's a danger to themselves and who's on like special watch and all this stuff. And you have to speak really quietly because they're all just right around you. And I remember like they downloaded us and they were like, just so you know, we were instructed to blow up this group, which meant that they purposely instigated like major emotional challenges in this group to like get them to grow. And they were like, just so you know, we were instructed to blow up this group. So it's probably going to happen like tonight. We're like, awesome. So the fire, we set up the fire, and because we knew the group was going to blow, we had to like place them around us in the camp. So everyone was like sleeping in their own tents around us in singles. And we were sitting there like kind of whispering, like, do you think it's going to happen? Like, what do you guys think is going to happen? And all of a sudden, one of my co-guides is like, shh. We're like, and you hear like, tsk, 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 tsk. We're like, what is that? And the male, it was two female co-guides and a male. And the male guide in the group was like, guys, don't do it. Don't do it. I'm telling you right now, just go back to sleep. Don't do it. And then all of a sudden, all at once, it's like, and the zippers open and they all run in different directions. And it's the dead of night. It's like midnight. We were like, fuck. It was so shitty. The rest of the night, we were just trying to find them.
But they knew that they were going to do that when they said blow up?
They knew something was going to happen. Like, sometimes you blow up a group and it's just, verbal fighting. Sometimes it's a physical fight. Sometimes they'll attack the guides and you have to go hands-on and restrain them. And sometimes that restraining process would take a long time. Like, there were times where people would be going hands-on for hours, just holding them, pinning them in place, and they're just thrashing. And like, it was so crazy. That job, they should be shut down.
Bitch, what?
That whole industry should be shut down.
Fuck,
I know. Dude. I was like, I've been waiting for like a massive shutdown of that industry because it's really fucked up.
Your mental could not have been good.
Oh my God, it was horrible. I could
only imagine.
I would come out from those 8 days and just take long showers, just sitting on the floor of the tub, just like rocking.
How long did you do that for?
Not long. I didn't last long. I think I did like 8 months.
8 months?
Yeah.
Bitch, that's a long time.
It was like a feat. Like, it was like well known. Like, somebody would make 1 year and they'd be like, I was like, I'm not making it. There's no way I'm making it.
Girl, I would have been out the first week.
Yeah, a lot of people dropped because it was just like, what the fuck is this?
How long was the main time that they stayed in? Outside?
The students stay in for 3 months straight and they never come out for those 3 months. Unless there was like one time there was a fire in those woods and all of the groups had to come out to civilization. And it was like they were shipwrecked, like coming back to reality. They were like,
but
coming
3
out of the
months
woods.
in the woods?
Mm-hmm.
Like camping? Sleeping in a tent every single night for 3 months?
Yep. And they're like,
what's the name of this?
like no showers.
What's the name of this?
It's called wilderness therapy is the field. Wilderness therapy.
I hope this shit blows up because I'm about to make a clip of this shit.
It's crazy.
Y'all better get shut the fuck down. If only I had fucking 300,000 followers. Maybe my 500 could do something.
That industry is so crazy.
Oh my gosh, girl. You left Southeast Asia, COVID, went to Hawaii, COVID, and then went to the wilderness in Bend, Oregon.
Yeah,
for
that
8
was
months.
crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Oh, Lord. So we got to go back to China.
Yeah.
But that is insane. And I needed you to explain about that job because that's probably the crazy, like, when you're like, oh, what kind of jobs have you had in an interview? Oh, well, you know, I helped people kidnap kids during the night and bring them to the middle of the forest.
Yeah. Torture them
I'm
for
sorry,
3 months.
what? That's insane.
So sad. You had to laugh, otherwise you'll cry.
Little girl, when you first told me, I was in shock. Whew, oh, Lord.
I know.
But low-key, fuck them parents for that shit, too.
I know.
Damn,
I
just
know.
send them to regular old rehab.
I know.
You guys are fucking weird.
Please.
Okay.
Like, give them a hug first. Let's start with that.
Yeah.
Jeez. My God.
Okay, so were you in Southeast Asia for 5 years or
My
China?
home base was China, Beijing. But I traveled so much, like, whether it was for programs, which were always so fun and like such a whirlwind, or for visa runs. And then that was just like my own travel.
Yeah.
And that was
like you
really
gotta
cool
hop.
too.
Yeah, I had to do that too in Thailand. What's something that people think about China that's not actually true? Because for me, I was thinking about this last night. I've never traveled with anyone from China. I don't have any Chinese friends. Like, I don't know anything. My ex-boyfriend actually did live in Shanghai.
Oh.
But I personally don't know anyone. When I traveled through Southeast Asia, I traveled with, you know, Japanese, Korean, but never any. I don't think so. Maybe I'm missing someone, but yeah. So
That's surprising because I feel like Chinese people are traveling a lot these days.
I don't know.
Awesome.
Just personally, like in my life,
Yeah.
I've never, not that I can recall. Yeah. So
I definitely want to ask you what some of your preconceived notions are about China, but I can answer it first if you want.
Scary.
In what way? Like dangerous?
As in, if I maybe say something or do something wrong, I might get my hand chopped off or something. I feel like Americans have this perspective with, let's say, China and Russia, because they're both very powerful countries. But we don't actually know what goes on there. A lot of Americans don't. But the Russian people that I've always traveled with are the funniest and nicest people I've ever fucking met in my life.
Yeah.
But I can't say from personal experience because I've never been in Russia. That's just my personal experience from traveling with people, with Russians. And then same with China. I think there's just fear because of certain things that go on over there. So that's kind of my perspective is that there's a lot of scary things that happen. But I have heard from a few people that have traveled there that they're not really allowed to mess with Americans, right? Are they?
I don't know if they're, I don't know. I don't really think it's like that they're not allowed to mess with Americans. I think in my experience, a lot of people, when they find out that I lived there for as long as I did, they're like, how did you do it? There's a lot of preconceived notions about Chinese people being very rude or being really loud or dirty.
So I never heard that, the dirty part.
It's my grandparents think that. Exposed, abuelita.
Yeah, Granny Pappy, what? That's so funny. Oh my gosh. Yeah, they dirty over there. Okay.
Random. Yeah, it's like, I hear that a lot. I hear like a lot of like fear about their government.
Yes,
and
I think
their
that's the
government
main thing.
being like Big Brother-ish and like always watching and that sort of thing.
Yes.
But I feel that way in this country. So it didn't like, you know, I just remember being like, well, then same.
But how old were you when you went over there?
I mean, when I first went, I was really young. I was 15.
Yeah.
But I didn't have any preconceived notions really at the time. And then by the time I moved there, I was already out of college. And I was like, well, fuck the U.S. government. So like same, but different, as they say in Thailand.
Yeah.
So, you know, so I really didn't, I really didn't condemn them for that any more or less than I condemn this country for that.
Yeah.
But my experience there was vastly different than how I feel in the United States. It's extremely safe in China.
Really?
Extremely safe in China. Obviously, they just don't have access to guns the same way that there's access here. So there's that piece. But just in general, the repercussions for acting out are real. So people just stay in line and everyone's doing their thing. It's not like they're repressed or anything. Everyone's doing their thing. It's loud. People are sharing their true thoughts and they're very open. And it's so cool. There's like a no filter thing that happens in China, you know.
Okay.
It's different. There's a different filter, I should say. And the things that we filter in this society, in our culture, it just comes right out over there. So like I'm
like, ooh, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, that's what I was thinking, but you said it out
Like,
loud,
oh,
so
wow.
okay.
Like I'm absolutely nowhere near the standard of beauty in China and in most of Asia. So like, you know, when I first moved out there,
They say you was ugly.
mm-hmm.
Damn! And you are fucking stunning. That is insane.
But they're like, it's so funny the way that, like, for example,
Because you're supposed to be really skinny, right?
really
for
skinny,
women.
really white, blue eyes is like the thing. Like you would be like cherished in China. I would hang out with people.
Bitch, I'm not that pale. I'm kidding.
Like,
I know I am, but
yeah,
I'm British
too
as
dark
fuck.
for their standards. They like, you know, want really pale and big blue eyes and straight nose, high bridge, blonde usually,
But
straight
why
hair.
is that? Because that's not what they look like.
I mean,
That's what I've never understood.
could go deep into like my opinions on that, but
Yeah.
I think, you know, I just think the world has had a lot of indoctrination in terms of standards of beauty, but I squarely fall outside of the standard of beauty in China, and it granted me a different view of things because no one was pursuing me, no one wanted me.
No one was hollering at you.
No
Catcalling?
hollering at all, no catcalling at all, none of that.
Did someone say you were ugly though?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
What?
Lots.
What
but
did
it
he
was
say?
normal. It was normal. Or
He
they'd be
said
like,
you was ugly. Like, give me the sentence.
like they would like touch my hair and be like, ugly.
You are not fucking serious. You're serious?
Mm-hmm.
And
But
what
it
did
was-
you say? Okay.
I'd just be like, what? You don't like it? Oh, come on. Or something. You know?
Yeah.
Or like sometimes.
Oh my god.
Also, you get really far, no matter what you look like, you get really far in China if you try to speak the language.
Yeah.
They give a lot of credit for that. So they've loved me. I
And
did great in China.
And you do speak Mandarin.
I do speak Mandarin. And I did great in China. I connected with everyone pretty much. Like there was almost never a time where I couldn't connect because of that.
Wow.
So, and they're so warm and like so loving.
This bitch said they just call her ugly, but no, they're so warm.
because it's different. Like
No, I know exactly what you
Yeah,
mean.
like
They're just
even-
blunt, and that's just their culture.
yeah, and I relate. Like Puerto Rican, I remember having like a certain thought pretty early on in China where I was like, Chinese people and Puerto Ricans are not that different.
Really?
Like obviously there are differences in the forms of expression, but like that bluntness that is carried by like really good intentions and humor and connect and banter and fun. It's like playful and fun. And I really enjoyed it. And like even the interactions that would start bad would usually end really good. And what I noticed was even in some of the smaller towns and smaller provinces that are way less exposed to foreigners, and maybe I was the first foreigner that kids were seeing or something like that, there was a lot of like genuine ignorance, not ignorance in like the way that we use it with such a negative connotation, but ignorance in its actual definition, meaning like
They just
did
didn't
not
know. Yeah.
and were open to like being, you know, proven wrong and that sort of thing. So like there was one time I was on the subway in somewhere in China, and there was this old lady, and she looked at me and she was like, she was with somebody and she was like, "Yang Guizi," which means like foreign devil or like foreign devil kind of thing. And I turned to her and I was like, "No, I'm Chinese." And she was like, "What?"
Did you say that in Mandarin?
Mm-hmm. And I was like, "No, I'm Chinese." And she was like, "What?" And I was like, "I'm just kidding. I'm not Chinese, but I understand you." And she was like, "Oh," and she was kind of embarrassed. And then she was like, "Okay, well, and we got to talking a little bit. And by the end of the train ride, I went to her house and she made me dumplings and
Wow.
we sat together and it was awesome. And it was like a really important memory for me. So
yeah, that's another one of my questions. Like, how do they perceive foreigners?
I think everyone perceives foreigners differently based on their
Depending on
experience.
who you are.
And where you live. Beijing is full of foreigners.
Yeah.
There's tons of expats in Beijing.
So areas that they're used to it, but if you go to like a little smaller town, it's more of a jar, and they're not probably as warm or accepting, huh?
A lot of warmth and curiosity, tons of curiosity. Chinese
Really?
people are some of the most curious people as a culture that I've ever seen. A lot of questions, a lot of interests.
Take pictures of you?
They would ask me to take pictures of white people. They'd be like, wow. Like I'd be standing next to like a white person that I was walking around with, like someone in my cohort with the group that I went out there with or something. And they'd be like, oh my gosh, so cool to see you and meet you. Like, you're so beautiful. Like to the white person that I was with, like, you're so beautiful and interesting. Can you can you take a picture of us?
That is so crazy. The standard. Because I know I see all the time the videos when black people go and they've never seen a black person before.
Yeah.
And they're taken and they're like, geez, like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. But it didn't bother me because it felt like innocent somehow.
Yeah, you weren't offended.
I wasn't offended.
Which is hard to come by.
Yeah. I wasn't offended, and it just kind of
because
was
you're
like,
in their world.
Exactly.
Like, they're not going to change for you. That's their country, their home.
Exactly.
Their culture.
And when you live abroad, at least when I was living abroad, I felt like it was important for me to not only embrace that difference and like let it be and not judge it for the sake of like being respectful, but also just to protect my own energy and to have a sustainable like approach to living there, because I didn't have a timeline on that. I was planning on just being there for as long as I wanted to be there. And it's exhausting living abroad and speaking another language. And I give a lot of credit to people who do that here in this country because it's exhausting. And by the end of the day, you're like,
only imagine.
I don't want to talk to you anymore. I can't talk anymore. And it's frustrating.
Because you're constantly like thinking like, oh my gosh.
And also like, it's very frustrating for your language to falter and to not be able to express what you're trying to express. And to just be like, never mind.
Google Translate. Well, not there.
No, not there.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about the social media.
They have their own versions of everything.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what my ex used to message me on.
Probably WeChat.
Yes. Yeah.
WeChat's the big one. WeChat is fucking awesome. We are so behind.
WeChat I did so like cool. That app.
It's so cool, and I bet it
reminds me of WhatsApp a little bit, but
I don't have it anymore, and I would guarantee it's been years since I've had it, and I would guarantee that it's probably gotten even cooler and more integrated because like WeChat was how everything happened in the country. Like even in very small areas, like you could always pay by WeChat. Your WeChat wallet was way more important than having cash.
Wow.
And yeah,
I didn't know that.
Everything. You could get food through WeChat. You could get any little thing you can imagine. Like you could get your pictures printed and delivered to your door in a couple minutes on WeChat. Like it was like instant. Like I don't know if you've seen Ronnie Chung's one of his specials. He has a joke about Americans being like Prime now. You seen this? Where he's like, Amazon Prime now. I want my package now.
More Prime. Can't get enough Prime here. You need it Prime. We need Prime harder, faster, stronger. Faster Prime. Prime now.
It's so funny.
Because he's talking about in China how it actually is.
He's talking about Americans and our lack of patience here.
Oh, yeah, like bitching. Yeah,
but it's way more relevant in China. I think it's way more relevant in China because, like, I remember coming back to the States after living in Beijing and being like, I can't get anything here.
Yeah, they're probably really spoiled, huh?
Oh my gosh, you can get anything you want delivered to your house. Like instantly.
Oh, I think I have heard that, yeah.
Yeah.
But they don't have Google, right? Like they
have their own version by Baidu.
Okay, so they have things that they have versions of social media and they see what's going on in the world. It's just not
they see what's going on in the world filtered through the lens of that social media app in the same way that we see what's filtered through our algorithms and all of the nefarious bullshit that happens in this country. There's no difference. When people try to say like,
they say
US
that
is
it's
better.
Well, they say that China isn't it controlled more? Is what I'm understanding?
That's the
or?
stereotype
Okay.
that there's more censorship and control there. But
Censorship, yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
Is there though? Because
Yeah,
I'm
at this point I don't
pretty
know. But see, I haven't been this skeptical about America. This literally just started a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But I've never been into it. Like and people say, "Oh, well, you're privileged. You don't have to pay attention to that kind of stuff," which might be true in whoever's eyes and wants to think that, but it's just never been an interest to me.
Mm-hmm.
I had other things I was interested in. Playing soccer, being outside. I also just, when you're from a very, very small town and you've lived there your whole entire life, I left when I was like 23, and I didn't have social media like that.
Yeah.
And I didn't utilize it like that.
Yeah.
You just are not aware of everything that's going on around you.
Yeah.
And now I am, which sucks. I'm not going to lie. Like, I prefer, I know it's good to know what's going on, but for my own mental, I know how I am. I like to be in the dark a little bit.
I think it's important to take breaks. Definitely at least take breaks.
Yeah.
A lot of people
Can't have it in your fucking face every day.
I feel like a lot of people have been talking about
Knowledge
how,
is power, but...
Yeah, a lot of people talk about how like we weren't built for this inundation of information.
Fuck no. That's why everybody is sad and depressed.
Yeah, I could definitely see that being the case. On the other hand, though, I do think like I think I could argue both points, to be honest. I feel like I could argue both.
Yeah.
But that's my MO. I'm the it depends girl.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
why
I get
it's
it.
hard to ask me a question because I'm always like, well, it depends.
Yeah.
Context
Could be this
is
way,
everything.
the other way. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And that's what's so, I think, misconstructed with a lot of people because they want to put everything in a box.
Yes.
Not every experience is the same. Not
Yeah.
every situation is the same.
I feel like
Girl, what's going on?
I'm having a cramp. I'm experiencing a cramp.
Okay, are fortune cookies really a thing there?
Fortune cookies are an American invention.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I was like, is that actually a Chinese thing or is it an American thing? Like
It's an
always,
American
we
invention.
take things and turn it into something.
It's brilliant. Fortune cookies are brilliant.
But do they
But they're
have
not
them over there?
Chinese. It's not a
Fucking
thing.
hell.
It's not a thing.
America's so weird. Okay. How's the work culture there?
It's so different. Work culture is so different in China. It's very normal to nap during your workday.
Hell yeah.
Anywhere.
I can get behind that.
You could just like pop a squat right in front of someone's feet and fall asleep.
I'm tired.
Just anywhere you want.
They
Just fall
tired of
asleep.
calling all those foreigners ugly.
It was so interesting, like working, and we worked in a co-working space, and we moved co-working spaces throughout the years. So I got to see a couple of like co-working spaces, and tons of nappers all the time, any time of day. And the co-working spaces that we would choose usually had like shower pods and sleeping pods, and that's really normal. It was almost like a little hostel inside the co-working space, and you could go into the pod and sleep, but most people opted to sleep in very odd places. I actually had like a little Snapchat blog while I was there called Chinese People Sleeping in Weird Places.
That is hilarious.
I mean, it's gone now. I wish I still had it, but I
Oh,
remember I had a
dang.
picture of a taxi driver taking a nap in the middle of the highway. Just car parked, everyone else going around, a napping taxi driver that just needed to nap right in the road.
Why are they so tired though? What's going on?
Maybe it's the air quality. It made me tired.
Are you serious?
The air quality made me really tired. I mean, I'm sure there's other factors, but like on bad air quality days, bad smog days, it would make me really
Why?
tired.
Why is that?
Maybe it has to do with like oxygen getting to the brain. And
No, I mean, like, why is the air quality bad there?
they still burn a lot of coal there.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's really common. There's still parts of this country that burn a lot of coal and their air is not great. So it's like that in the cities, but then there's just so many more people. So that they all have to stay warm in the winter, and they usually burn coal cakes. And then there's so many cars. There's so many people. There's so many cars. And I think that's probably part of it too. And then industry, there's a lot of industry in China. I mean, all of our shit is made there. So there's a lot of industry
like, do they have
there.
big factories and stuff?
Big factories and big like
Do
billowing
you think they're
smoke.
abused there for the work labor?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's like slave labor essentially. And a lot of those are American companies or foreign companies, and they just know that they have cheap and expendable labor.
Y'all, this is Yehia's girlfriend. This is my boyfriend Joe's brother's girlfriend. I forgot to say that in the beginning. I talked about Yehia too. Okay, so it's time for the segment of the week. You probably don't know we do this because she don't watch this. She just watched the clips like everybody else. The segment of the week is called Would You or Did You?
Oh.
Okay. It's mostly about food, but there's a couple of other things in there too. Would you or did you try deep fried insects?
Yes.
You did?
Mm-hmm. Many different varieties.
Oh, tell me the
I don't know how that quite fits with being vegetarian now that I think about it.
Oh, you was eating them while you were vegetarian?
Yeah, while I was out there. I had scorpion. It tastes a lot like buttered popcorn. A lot like buttered popcorn.
Was it the scorpion on a stick?
Mm-hmm.
That's actually one of my cards. So that
That's funny.
was that in Thailand?
That was in China, in
Okay.
Shanghai. There was a really, I wonder if it still exists. There was a really cool street, like a very small alleyway, and it was full of these red pop-ups, and all of them were insects cooked different ways. So I tried a bunch of stuff. I tried scorpion. I tried maggots. I tried maggots a bunch of times. I tried ants. Just like big old black ants, like a handful of ants. I tried centipede. Not about that. Grasshopper.
Did it have all the little thingies on it?
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
It's the texture that's not okay. You know, like the little, like the hairs on their legs. Like if you zoom into a bug, you see these like hairs on their legs. Yeah, it's like, yeah.
But why do they eat those things? Like, do they think there's nutrients in it?
I think there are nutrients in it. To be honest, I haven't really done a deep dive, but I don't know how bioavailable the nutrients are to human beings. But I know that if you like synthesize a nutrient profile for a bug, it has protein and it has other
But how
elements
could you
and
eat
minerals.
a centipede without getting stung? How could you swallow that?
I'm pretty sure they just like cut.
Okay, that's
the
what I was
sting
asking.
off,
They
yeah.
cut. I was like,
I
bitch,
hope so.
I thought you.
I was just like all
singer.
trust. I was like, give him, sure.
Oh my gosh. Okay, grasshopper, ants, the scorpion. I didn't. My friends were eating the scorpion in Thailand, but I think I was in Bangkok. I just couldn't bring myself to do it.
Yeah,
Tastes like popcorn?
buttered popcorn. It's pretty good.
Oh
That one
my
was probably the
gosh.
best tasting.
Really?
Yeah. All the other ones are just like meh. And then they season. You know, Chinese people know how to season their shit. So,
Really?
yeah, they season it up, and you just like it just tastes like you're eating spices.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And I had crickets in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Tastes like chicken.
Oh,
I didn't mind that.
That's pretty
Yeah.
good.
Okay. Would you or did you try chicken feet
I have tried chicken feet
in China?
Mm-hmm. In China and somewhere else too. I can't think of where. But yeah, China. But it was when I was in high school. I wasn't vegetarian at that time. So
Oh yeah. Yeah, my friend, this is a southern thing too. They also eat pig's feet.
mm-hmm.
Pig's feet and chicken feet, and he kind of like went viral on Instagram. Shout out to D'Angelo, my friend. It's kind of like a mukbang thing, you know?
What's that?
So that's when people get online and they like eat all these foods.
Oh, okay.
And people are weird. They like that shit. He like does it with his church's chicken and Popeyes and all that kind of stuff.
That's cool.
But yeah, he has it. He like cooks it, slow cooks it, and then he just eats the chicken feet and then he spits the nails out.
Oof.
But they do it they put it in a soup, right?
They
Something
have
like
it
that?
all different ways.
Oh, really?
Yeah, all different ways. And yeah,
See,
it's
I've
not,
never eaten chicken feet.
it's not that unusual for me because there's some foods like that in Puerto Rico too.
Okay.
So, you know, that wasn't like a super huge deal. And like these days I make bone broth every week out of hooves. So,
Oh, you do?
yeah, so it's like still a part of my life, kind of.
Where do you
But
get the hooves at?
I'm in grocery.
Oh, we're gonna have to come back to that. Okay, this one's different than food. Would you or did you sing karaoke in Mandarin?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so would you consider yourself fluent in Mandarin?
I feel so sad about where my Mandarin is right now. I was definitely fluent when I lived there, conversationally fluent. I wouldn't say that I could hold my own in like deep poetic or political or like health language or anything specialty, but everyday conversation and expressing myself, and even humor was starting to come through. Like I was feeling like I could really start to express myself in Chinese. And now it's not there anymore.
Because you're not utilizing it, you know?
I talk with ChatGPT. That's my tutor. So I do like 20 minutes a day in Chinese.
So you already knew it before you went, but you didn't know it fluently, right? Or
I was pretty good. I was
really?
good in college.
Wow.
Yeah, the program at Princeton is really good. The teachers are really good, and I was good, but like it's different because it's not necessarily organic conversation.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, every chapter has a theme. Maybe the theme this week, like I remember
You're not just like talking story.
Yeah, like it was, you know, like the theme of the week would be like riding a bus, you know, and then you like learn all that language. And then when I lived in China, all those lessons were super vital because I was like, I know how to talk like this, right? But then bringing in the colloquialisms and the natural tone of the language that came when I lived there. And now, yeah.
Can you teach me something?
Sure.
Okay, teach me something easy, child.
Let's see. I'm sure you already know how to say hello.
No.
You do. Ni hao.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you do. You know that one.
Only from Joe.
Yeah, ni hao. And then how are you is really similar to that. You just add ma at the end, which is a question participle. So ni hao ma is how are you?
Oh, ni hao ma.
And the reason is because ni hao, it translates to hello, but it directly translates to you good.
Oh.
So when you say hello, you're directly in English, it's you good. And then when you add a question mark at the end, it's you good. And that's how are you?
Oh. Does the whole country of China speak Mandarin?
Mm-mm.
There's
There are
different-
so many dialects.
Okay.
And there are so many different languages.
That's
And
what I was thinking.
there are heavy accents, and then there are different dialects, and then there are different languages within China, and there are many, many.
Wow.
So like Beijing, Beijing, what do they call it? Beijingese. In Chinese, Beijinghua. Beijinghua is like, it's Mandarin with a twist. It's like accented Mandarin, but it's well known for having a lot of an R sound to it. So like standard Mandarin, if you say, where are you? You would say 你在哪里? But in Beijing language, it would be 你在哪儿? So there's like an R sound.
Oh.
Or like,
It almost sounds like you're singing.
yeah, I love Chinese. Like there's a lot a lot of people hear aggression in Chinese, but I don't hear it like that. There's other
I think it's
languages
more
where I can hear
Vietnamese
that,
that
but
I think is kind of more.
I could see that.
But
I hear it. I love the sound of Chinese. I love the concepts in the language.
it's so cool. Like, oh man, the alphabet, like the alphabet, and I don't know.
the characters.
Yes.
The characters are so cool. That's a big challenge. So I can't read and write anymore. That's for sure. But
Oh, you could read and write too. That's so cool.
it is cool. It's a really cool language, and there's so much history there, and it's just so freaking cool.
Maybe I
love
would go.
China.
I've always said there's one place that I wouldn't go was China, maybe, but no,
It's so
maybe I
cool.
would.
You should totally
I just
go.
don't know.
It's badass.
much
It's
about
really,
it.
it is hard to travel there when you don't speak any of the language.
Yeah,
It's
I don't know if I could go by myself. I don't know.
Yeah.
Would you or did you try durian?
Yes, I did try durian. I went to the durian festivals many times.
I didn't know they had festival. Wait,
Yeah.
was this in Thailand or?
A few countries have durian festivals.
Oh wow.
I know Thailand does. I know Malaysia does. Indonesia, China has a few. I went to a couple in a couple different countries, and I personally like durian, and the smell doesn't bother me much.
Ooh, child.
But everybody's different.
Ooh. Even when
you-
I have it in my hand, and then my hand smells like throw up to me.
Yeah, some people say that. Some people say it smells like rotting human flesh. Which, like, how do you know what that smells like?
That's kind of crazy. A crazy claim. Okay,
Some
psycho.
people smell sewage.
Yeah, mine's throw up.
Okay.
Like I had they were like those jelly beans where you,
Oh.
if you eat them there, and
Those,
I
like,
got
mystery
one that, it was throw up. And I was like, that's
Durian.
what durian
That's funny.
tastes like.
I kind of like it. I
really?
mean, it's not something I'd be like, gotta have my durian today.
Yeah.
But, like, but you know, it's banned in a few nations in public spaces.
I've heard that, but I don't understand why. Because of the smell?
Yeah, because it's like considered, like so impolite to have it in public spaces that it's actually like punishable usually by like monetary fines. Like Singapore, I know is one.
Whoa.
Singapore, I want to say parts of Malaysia. I want to say parts of Thailand too. And Hong Kong. You can't have durian in public spaces.
But what's the durian festival? It's just a bunch of people.
like durian lovers?
Girl, you wouldn't catch me at that much.
I know. There's a lot.
I'd have to wear a mask or something.
I like it.
Oh my god, it's so funny. Would you or did you try century eggs?
Mm-hmm.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
What is the point? Why not just eat a regular egg?
I do not like those eggs.
Okay.
I do not like those
The
eggs.
pictures scared me. I'm going to add pictures in here so you guys will know what the hell we're talking about.
The first time I ever tried them, it was my first time in China, and I was 15 years old. And my host family so sweetly put together a huge celebration for me. And it was a huge deal for them to have to be hosting an American.
Mm-hmm.
And they put together this big dinner event. And I love in China, like, eating together is such a family affair, and they have huge, like, imagine like a huge round table with a huge lazy Susan. You know what a lazy Susan is?
I don't know. They don't sit in chairs, do they?
They do
Oh,
sit
they
in
do?
chairs, but it's like, imagine like a huge round table and then a slightly smaller raised glass platform that's also round.
Oh.
And it's on a wheel, so you can move it with your hand and it'll turn.
Oh.
And so like, and then the perimeter of that glass circle has all different dishes, and then you like turn it and you can access each one as it moves.
Hell yeah.
And so like you're turning
They
it,
like to
and
eat.
everyone on the table is just, as the dish comes, you grab some, and as the next one comes, you grab some and you fill
Kind of
up
like
your
the
plate.
sushi train?
Yeah, kind of like
I've
that,
never
but like
had
for
a
your
sushi
party.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
it's so cool. So they sat me right next to like the patriarch of the family, who was like the super old grandpa, and I was like, sat next to him, which in China that's a big deal. Like, I mean, maybe in it anywhere, but it's called the zuowei, which is like the seat of honor. That was him, and then I was sat next to him, and I knew it was a big deal. I felt the gravity of it, and then the century eggs came around, and he was like, no one touch the eggs. Like, she's gonna have the first bite of eggs, and so they came all the way around, and they were that like bluish hue and see-through, and then the yolk is like a dark green in there, and I was like, what the fuck is that? I don't want this. They smell like sulfur. And then I was just like, oh.
Oh, what did
Thank
it
you
taste like?
so
You only had
much.
one? They're big too, aren't they?
I mean, they're the size of an egg,
Yeah.
but they cut them in quarters usually. So, yeah, it tasted like sulfur. It tasted like the smell of used socks.
Girl, I cannot. So you're all about the durian, but not about the century egg. Okay, noted. Would you or did you drink shit?
No.
Baju?
That's pretty good. Baijiu.
Oh,
That just means
Baijiu.
white liquor, but it's like their hooch.
yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't have any?
I did. I had a lot.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
I did have a lot of baijiu. There's a couple of, I don't know if they still exist. I hope they do. There was a couple of really cool like baijiu bars.
Cool.
And kind of like the way that you can go into like a small batch brewery that brews their own stuff. It was like that, and they have their own hooch. And
Are they big drinkers? All Asians are, I feel like. They love karaoke and they love to drink.
Karaoke is, oh man, I fell in love with karaoke out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still do it all the time in my own house by myself.
I love a good karaoke. Okay, 2 more. Would you or did you, this one's kind of bad, but I have to ask it. Eat dog?
No,
No?
because I was fully vegetarian when I was
yeah.
out there. I mean, not that I know of.
So when I was looking at it, last night, I wrote this down. Apparently there's a dog meat festival
There is.
in Yulin. Yulin.
I can't remember where it is, but that kind of sounds right. I heard about it while I was out there. I don't know what it's like.
So the dog meat festival, yeah, they just
I heard
they're all,
that
they eat
yeah.
a bunch of dogs.
I heard that. Never went to it, so I can't say for sure. But I heard that that is a thing.
Yeah. It's just like they don't see them like we see them, so can't really blame them, I guess.
I don't know. Dogs are fucking awesome in China. They're the
really?
smartest. And babies. Dogs and babies are like way smarter.
Yeah, because they got their babies doing karate when they're 1.
The dogs are so independent. I would see dogs going grocery shopping for their owners. No owner in sight. Dog with a grocery bag. You're like, what? I would see dogs
They
like
being trained too.
I would see dogs like going and opening the door, like their owner would be coming up the stairs or something. The dogs would go and like open the door for them. Like,
Whoa.
this is amazing.
Okay, so not ever. So some do view them as pets.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And there's like
I guess that's anywhere, just like Nicaragua and stuff. Not
or
everywhere.
even here. Working
Yeah.
dogs versus pet dogs. Like there's a big culture of that here too.
Yeah.
But yeah, in fact, in Beijing, I would say a lot of people treated their dogs better than anything I've seen in some U.S. families where they're like babies, you know? It's just, you know, there's the whole range of what could be is there too.
Yeah, the stereotype. Had to ask it though. Okay, last one. Would you or did you perform Mongolian throat music?
Yes, I did. I did a program in Inner Mongolia, and when I found out that I was going to do that program, I was like, I have to learn how to throat sing because I really love Mongolian throat singing. And I have for a long time, like long before I ever thought I would ever go to China. When I was a little girl, my dad...
We just had such different upbringings.
My dad would always bring me and my sister, like on the weekends, he would bring us to the Smithsonian museums in DC. Right in the middle of all that, they once a year, I hope they still do it, they used to have a heritage festival, and every year they would identify one specific culture that they would highlight. And I remember as a little girl, one of the years they did Mongolia, and they brought out a band called Hunhurtu. And Hunhurtu is like one of my favorite bands to this day. But I got to see them live as a little girl, and I was like, what are they doing? Like, that is so cool what they're doing.
Wow.
But they're able to split tones so that they can simultaneously sing a lower note and a whistle note at the same time.
Isn't it crazy what the human body can do?
It's
with stuff
amazing.
Like that?
So I was like, oh my God, when I found out that I was assigned to that program, I was like, I have to learn how to throat sing as my offering to the people. And I happened to meet somebody that knew how to do it. And I did a couple lessons with him at cafes. We must have bothered everyone. And then I get there and I'm like ready and perfectly set up because we get there and they introduce us to like our yurts where we're staying. And then there's like one big yurt in the center where all the meals happen. And we were finishing our meal and drinking beer. And I had a Mandarin translator that spoke Mandarin and Mongolian, but not English. So I would speak Mandarin to that translator, and that translator would speak Mongolian to the Mongolians and then translate back to me in Mandarin. So there was a lot lost in translation, but and we were all drinking.
So wait, so when you were singing, were you singing in Mongolian or were you singing in
I
Mandarin?
didn't sing any words. I just made noises.
But they're usually singing in Mongolian.
Yes, they sing real words.
So wait, help me out here. Mongolian is also a language in China.
Yeah, it's a different language in Mongolia, and I don't know if it's exactly the same language in Inner Mongolia, but they don't speak Mandarin.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's the same Mongolian as the country of Mongolia, but I would assume that they can understand each other. But yeah, I told the translator, please tell them that I've studied their music and I know how to do that. I was like, no, you can tell them. It was like, because I saw them getting ready to perform, and I was like, I can actually do it too. And they were like,
why were you so confident?
I was like, I prepared for this. And they were like, really? Wow. Like, thank you for thinking of us. Thank you. Like, please, you sing first. You sing first. And I was like, here we go. Start like making noise. And I'm like, and they're like,
But they didn't say anything, did they?
They were just like, should we sing? I was like, what they think? The translator was like, I don't think he did it. I was like, you can't hear it? You can't. But then I got to hear them, and I'm like, okay, I didn't.
Did you ever do it again after that?
I do it all the time. I still do it to this day all the time.
Can we get a sample before we go?
Okay, you have to like really listen, really tune in.
Okay. I'm
It's gonna
preparing.
be a whistle note all the way up here.
A whistle note? Okay, okay. I can't look at you, but
Yeah.
I'm ready to listen.
Okay. Okay, wait.
Okay.
Choose my tone. Are you hearing it?
A little bit.
Kinda. It just sounds like a.
But it sounds like there's like an echo. I don't know.
It's like a very. For me, it's very slight.
If y'all listen to this with headphones in, I'm about to fucking
just be like, warning.
Mongolian throat music coming up.
Doesn't bother me.
It sounds pretty good to me though.
Oh, thank you.
No.
Tell them that.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Macy says it's good. So I don't know what you guys are talking about.
That's so cool though, dude. Your journey is awesome. It's so sick.
Yeah.
Before we go, I always like to ask one final question.
Mm-hmm.
So, as wanderers, I feel like we're always seeking, our souls are always seeking like places, people, and meaning. But I feel like our souls are also seeking a feeling of home where we feel our most self and grounded.
Mm-hmm.
So, I like to ask, what song makes your soul feel at home?
Oh, I love that question. I'll just say the first one that comes to mind because I feel like there's probably a couple. But the first one that comes to mind is a song called Hijos del Cañaveral.
Oh, fuck. I can't even say that. What does that mean?
Like children of Cañaveral, I'm pretty sure is like a plant. I want to say it's like a reed plant, like what you'll find in like coming out of water. But I don't know for sure if that's what it is. But that song is about being Puerto Rican. But a lot of, like, I've gone on the comments page. I love this song. I've, like, studied the lyrics, and I've really gotten into the story of it. And I've read people's comments online from nations all over the world, and they all relate to the story. And I think it is about being Puerto Rican, but I also think it's about being in a culture that is super connected to the land that they're on and super connected to the stories of their people and connected to like the struggle of coming up there. And I love it so much.
Who sings it? Can you say it again one more time?
It's called Hijos del Cañaveral, and it's a song by, I want to say it's by Residente or just the main singer of Residente.
Okay.
But it's so good.
Okay, I'm
And
excited to go listen to it.
yeah, it's beautiful. You should look up a translation of the lyrics.
Yeah.
And all the lyrics are really meaningful. Like, I played it for my grandparents once, and they cried when they listened.
Oh my
It
gosh.
like reminded them so much of their childhood.
I love Spanish music.
It's so
I don't know what the
beautiful.
hell they're saying. I make up my own words. But I saw Bad Bunny in Vegas.
Oh, that's cool.
Girl, I was having a time.
Get some points with that
I
one.
didn't know what the hell he was saying, but it sounded very good.
Yeah.
And it was fun. Yeah, I love it. It's very, I mean, Spanish is just sounds so beautiful.
Yeah,
And,
it's a beautiful language. And
Yeah.
Puerto Rican Spanish sounds very sing-songy, like just when spoken. And a lot of Puerto Ricans are like great singers. Like, there's just a lot of talent on the island. But yeah, that song starts off with, it starts off with a line that translates to something to the effect of like, we all came from the same bushel of plantains and have the same stain from that like bushel, because banana stains your clothes. And like, there's a few lines throughout that are just like, damn.
yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Can't wait to go listen to it. You had a couple though? I have
Yeah.
had some people that they're like, oh my gosh, like I have like 2 or 3. And I'm like, okay, well, what are they?
That's one. I love that song, and whenever I play it, I'm just like, oh. I would say let's see, probably some like heavy metal songs or like System of a Down or something, because that like reminds me of my middle school days.
Mongolian throat music,
Probably like
rock.
like Hypnotized by System of a Down or BYOB or Toxicity. Why don't you ask the kids at Tiananmen Square? Like just like
Bitch, you got layers. Y'all, I just keep pulling this onion back and back. Oh my gosh. I love it though. It makes it fun. I like to incorporate something at the end because music has always been a huge part of my life.
Oh, yeah.
Just we're talking about traveling and, you know, just being little wanderers and just going through life. But I feel like even though I love traveling so much, there's no other feeling like you're feeling at home.
yeah,
You know?
yeah,
But I love seeing the world too.
exactly, yeah.
So, okay, well, that's it for today's Wander. Rick, thank you so
Thank you.
much. This was fun. She came all the way to the west side. I also want to give a shout out. She's got a business, okay? Primal Pantry. Go check it out on Instagram. And also, if you're on Maui, she's the manager of the store in Napili.
Yeah.
Please tell me the name again.
Yeah, it's called Local Harvest Market, and it's a super cool made on Maui store. And then I also manage the Napili Farmers Market. So come on up, get some local stuff and support local businesses. And local food is really hard to come by on this island, and that's what we're all about. So it's really important to secure the local food system because facing an apocalypse as we are, you want to have access to food.
Period. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. I'll see y'all next week. Keep wandering and keep listening to the songs that bring you home. We're going to go pop, lock, and jam and break.
Pop and lock and jam and break.
Are
you coming?
Yeah, we're going to go to a dance class. Okay. Bye, y'all.
That's my move.